Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of either owning a home or investing in one. Today I wanted to talk about one of my successes, my recent one, which is my private lending deal. It was the first one that I did, and I wanted to tell you guys how I went about it. So, as many of you know, I did record that I went to the Deal Maker Conference down in Richmond, Virginia last year. There, one of the speakers was actually a woman that I had met years before. At that particular time, she was just beginning. We were learning mortgage note investing. It was a boot camp that both of us were in. We exchanged phone numbers and emails because we did hit it off. And then from time to time, I would check in back with her just to catch up, right? So, yeah, I noticed that, she started to become a speaker, actually. She also hosts retreats and what have you. So she was speaking at this particular engagement. And during one of the breaks, we again got together and caught up. Fast forward, later on in the conference, there was another person that I always heard on Clubhouse, but never met her in the flesh. So I moved to go sit at her table, introduce myself, and what have you. That person was also going to be a speaker at that conference as well. At that table was another person, never met her before. We just started talking. Then the conference sort of picked back up again, meaning the break was over. The clubhouse lady, she was giving her presentation. So we didn't want to talk while she was giving her presentation out loud anyway. So we were writing things down on a napkin as far as what we're doing and what have you. So this lady that I don't know, never met her before in my life. What she had to offer was interesting. Okay. As a matter of fact, she wasn't necessarily offering it. She was just saying that this is what she was doing. And I just happened to be curious. So we exchanged emails, phone numbers. So I went back to the woman, the first speaker that I mentioned, and she said, oh, she knows that lady. They were doing deals before, and she became quite profitable doing that. And she says that she can't invest with her now because she is going through some personal situations that she has to take care of. But she felt that if I like the deal, that I should probably look into it and move forward with this lady. So already there was a green light, right? But, well, actually for me, it's more of a yellow light than a green light because I don't trust everybody. There are people that will do right by some and not right by others, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I came back to New York. The lady, the one that I did not know, she did email me and I asked for more information. So one of the things, of course, is she told me how much the house costs, right? I didn't just trust that. I went and I looked it up on Zillow, on ePraisal. Plus, I am in several different mastermind groups. I know people who live in Georgia. As you guys know, if you have followed me, or if you check out my earlier videos, you'll see that I did some gut rehabs in Georgia. Okay, so I called one of the mastermind people. They happen to be a realtor. And I asked them about the area. I asked them about the house. They took pictures, front, back, and the sides. They let me know about the location, and they also let me know about the prices in that particular area. They did it for free. They didn't even charge me. And even if they were to charge me, it would have only cost me $75, which is nothing. Okay? So the extra thing that I did, the extra step, is, I asked the lady a number of questions, like who is on her team, how long has she been working with them on the team, if something were to happen to her or anyone else on the team, what is the process? Do they have someone else to step in, right? Because I did those gut rehabs, I had an experience where someone got into a car accident and couldn't work. Okay? So that's one of the reasons why I was asking those type of questions based on my experience. Okay? The next thing I did was I looked at who had the title to the home. Actually, I got a lawyer because we needed to get that contract, right? And so he looked up to see who had title on the property. That's very important. There are some people who will say, oh, I'm flipping a house, or oh, I'm doing this, but they don't have no ownership rights to do it. We don't play those games over here. Okay, so we definitely made sure that was done. I did not check her finances per se, because again, when it's a private money deal, you don't typically check the person's credit. Okay, your main focus is on the deal, right? And so that's what I had done from the beginning. I looked at how much it was presently cost, and then also, yes, she did tell me how much, if she had fixed it up, how much she was going to sell it for. But I again went to my realtors and I asked them, how much do homes in that area typically go for? Can I make the money that this lady claims I can make? And everybody gave me the green light. Everybody said yes. Okay. So what extra step did I do? Again, because I was hurt, I did run a background check on her and every single team member that she had that was with her. Okay. And I found out some information. It was basically good. I found out she was a realtor, and I found out about her, how long she had her license and what have you. So this was not the first time. She is fairly new in the game, but it's not her first time. So that, as far as doing a fix and flip and as far as being in real estate is concerned. So that made me feel comfortable. All right. Now, the next thing I did is, even though I had the lawyer, I read the contract for myself. Okay. I had questions because, listen, even though I've been doing real estate for a while, I don't know everything. And I don't want to pretend like I know everything. Sometimes I may do a little bit, but if there is a pressing question, I'm asking it and I need to have it answered. That's how I am. Because a lot of times when you try to play other people, sometimes you end up playing yourself. It's important with the contract that you understand every single word that's in there. Now, the hiccup, there were two hiccups that I ran into. Okay, first hiccup was that the lawyers, even though they did that background, they didn't really fully read the contract on time. I gave them 2 months. And one went on vacation. There was another one that was supposed to pick up the slack, but unfortunately he didn't. So that pissed me off. Luckily, the woman that was a speaker, right, from the conference, she's a lawyer. Granted, she's a lawyer in a different state, but she's a lawyer no less. And so she was able to answer the questions that I had, and she was also able to give me questions that I needed to ask the woman that was actually going to be doing the flipping. Okay, so that you could say I took a chance because I went ahead. Now, the other fallback, though, is this. I was working on other deals, and there was one particular deal where I was working with an attorney, and that the person we were fighting against in court, they threw another wrench at us. So we had to go to a different court. And so because we had to go to a different court, that cost me more money. So I went back to the lady and I said, listen, I can't give you the full amount that you want because of this particular court case here that I'm dealing with. Because not only do I have to pay the lawyer and the courts, I'm going to have to physically go down there. That means I need a hotel room, I need an airplane flight, etc., etc. So I'm going to be left with this much. She said, that's okay. I'll work with what you have. So that's what I did. I didn't empty out my account now. I still had money, extra money in my account, but I don't want to touch that because you never know what can come up. You understand me? So you want to have that cushion, that pad. So I gave her what I felt comfortable giving her because of my situation. Okay. Now, let me also backtrack a little bit. You might say, well, why does she need you? Especially since I couldn't give her everything. First of all, I was in second position. There was a regular bank in first position, but the bank did not give her all of the money that she needed in order for her to do what needed to get done. This is typical. This is what banks do. A lot of times, even if you're not flipping, just to buy a home, a lot of times they, will lowball you as far as how much a home appraises for. That's number one. So what happens is that a lot of times people will go to a private money lender or hard money lender. To be honest, I was really more of a hard money lender because me and this woman, we really didn't have much of a relationship outside of the fact that we just happened to be at the same conference at the same time and had a conversation. Okay, so anyway, I was in second position and not first position. I was okay with that. The amount was 10%. Some people will say, you know what, that's kind of low. But being that it was my very first deal, private lending deal, hard money lending deal, I took it. I accepted it because I said to myself, you know what, this will give me the experience that I need. All right. So that was definitely in the contract. Okay. The next thing that was in the contract that was very important was that if she defaulted for any reason, I could foreclose and take the property. Now, one of the main reasons why I went ahead with this, I was okay with this, is because the amount of money that she borrowed from the bank and myself was less than the current value of the home. Forget about how much it would cost after she fixed it up. The current value, what she borrowed from us, was a lot less than what the house actually was worth. So I was okay with that. Because regardless, no matter how you look at it, I'm going to get my money in this particular situation, right? So the other thing to note is that she was given 6 months to finish the home. She finished it in 4 months. Okay. If it had taken longer than the 6 months, then there was a 10% penalty. She would have to pay 10% on top of what she owed. And then if 3 months went by and she still didn't pay for being late, then I could still foreclose on her property. That's how it worked. The other difference as far as the way this particular contract was set up is that, some hard money lenders, they wait for the big payout at the end. That's not how this was set up. This was set up where I was actually, again, a second lender. So I was actually paid a certain amount monthly. And then at the end, I was paid another amount. And if she was late making the payments, there was a 10% late charge fee. That's how it works. That's how mine worked. A lot of other people, they charge 25%. There are some people that charge a lot more than that, believe it or not. So she was happy to do business with me. Okay. So in the end, everything worked out. I got my money. The bank got their money. And in a way, I also am in the bank. The other wonderful thing about this, and this is why I love mortgage notes, because this is what this is. Okay. We recorded, along with the contract, the regular contract between me and her, the other contract was the note itself. Okay. Because the note is the contract on the mortgage that tells you what the late fees are, how much is supposed to be paid, and how much the interest is, etc., etc., etc. Right? So the mortgage portion of the note was actually recorded at the county. So my company's name was on that. I don't have to be on the title. Some people want to be on title. I don't have to be on the title as long as I am recorded at the recorder's office on the mortgage stating that I'm the lender. Even though I'm in second position, I still have rights. Okay, so I'm giving you guys this as an example so that you know in the future what it is that you need to do. Also to give you guys another alternative to real estate investing. You don't have to do the flip yourself. You can support people who have a deal already. You can support people who have the inventory already, but they don't have the money, or they may just not want to use their own money. But guess what? You don't have to pick up a hammer. You don't have to deal with tenants. You don't have to deal with toilets, and you don't have to deal with trash. You just sit back after everything is done, after you sign the contract, you send in the money. You just basically sit back, and every month you either, depending on how your deal is created, every month just basically make sure that the payments come in on time, and then when it's over, you get your full amount that's due to you. All right? Just giving you guys another alternative and another reason why I love investing in mortgage notes. In this example, I'm not buying a note. I'm actually creating a note. Well, the lawyer basically does. Okay? So that's my success story. Will I do it again? Of course I will. Will I do it again with this lady? Of course I will. Is she the only one I plan to do this with? No, I plan on doing it with other people. Maybe not the same exact way, being that I have this experience and being that I'm going to get more experience as I go along, I probably will charge more interest. Okay, but this is just something that I wanted you guys to look into and to consider. All right. So, guys, I hope what I've shared with you will help you make smart financial moves. Feel free to pass this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.